Good evening, Lake Orion. Welcome to the second annual Boys Basketball Preview Show on ONTV. I have some special guests with me. I have Coach Tom Risi. Coach, how are you?
Great, nice to
I
be here.
also have Senior John McCarty making his return after last year. I also have Jimmy Boudreau, Senior Jimmy Boudreau, and also Senior David Henry. Guys, it's an honor to have you guys on the show. Thank you for coming on.
Happy to be here.
Honor to be here.
Before we start talking about this year's team, I want to talk about last year's team. Last year we went 12-8. We co-won the OAA Blue with Blosser, and it was kind of a very it was up and down year. We had some very good wins, then some very tough games, and it resulted in a district loss at home to Clarkston. What was that season like?
It was really a tale of two seasons. We started out, I believe, our first 14 games, I think we were 11-3 or 10-3, close to that. But our first half of the season, we played very well, and we had some huge wins. We beat Lotzer by 26. We beat some other teams pretty good in the first half, and we were rolling. Had some off-the-court issues that came up mid of the year, and it did affect how we played. So really, the season had two tails to it. For the first half and the second half. Obviously, I wish we could have kept that first half going longer, but you know, it is what it is.
John?
You know, kind of like what Coach said. We started out the season really good, but then off the court kind of came in. We had some issues, but I think we were ready when districts came around. We just had a bad game, and you know, you don't get a second chance when districts come around. So hopefully we improve on that this year.
Jimmy?
Yeah, I think back what Coach and John said. I think we started off the year great, like coming off like big wins against Oxford and Losser, and then really once like the second half, like we had off the court problems, and that kind of affected how we played. But like going in the districts, I felt like we were like a really good team, but like we just had an off night.
Yeah, I thought we could. We were a very good basketball team, but with off the court stuff, you know, that kind of messed with our game a little bit. But I still thought we were one of the better teams in our league and in the county.
And also that resulted in winning the league championship alongside with Losser. Beat
Right.
some very, very good teams. He beat, you know, Oxford. He beat Harrison. He beat Seaholm. And then that road trip, you know, and the schedule is what it is as well. And obviously going on the road kind of.
Well, it was a combination of things. We had some, as guys have said, we had some issues off the court last year, which you know, we don't expect to have this year. But that, along with the fact that we went on the road for a month and a half, and you know, playing on the road is tough. Whether it's a high school basketball, college, or whatever it is, anytime you play on the road, you got to bring your game up. And we just weren't. We didn't rise to the occasion. The Clarkson game, the district game. You know, I'm a big believer that stats are for losers. But if you do look at the stats we had in that game, we outplayed them. I mean, we didn't convert when we had to convert. Ball didn't go in the hole; it needed to go in. But as far as our play was concerned, we played strong. Sometimes, some nights, the ball just doesn't go in the hole, and picked a bad night for that to happen. But you know, it happens. But our effort that game was, I'll take that effort every game you play. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. The unfortunate part about it was playing Clarkston in the first game of the district. I mean, you have two teams like Lake Orion and Clarkston. How that doesn't end up being a Friday night final, district final, I've got no idea.
Actually blame Sammy for that one.
Well, Sammy had a little bit to do with it when he drew the names. But you know, it's I would have loved to have had them Friday night in the district final with a packed gym and our floor. That would have been a lot of fun. But again, you know, you've got to win. You got to, you know, the whole postseason tournament. There are no second chances. You got to come out and play every night as hard as you can, and you know, whatever happens, happens.
I agree. I want to talk about this year's. One thing I noticed about this year's team, got a lot of players coming back. John, David, Jimmy. The chemistry. I've noticed, and I've watched these guys play for years. And the thing I've noticed about them is they've got a lot of chemistry together. They play together in AAU. They play together for Lake Orion. I mean, what's that? Obviously, that chemistry. What's that going to be like for this season?
You know, it's funny because you can have a lot of superstars or a superstar on your team, and you see it all over the place where a team has one great player and they still don't win. Teams that have chemistry tend to win many more games than those who don't. We've got kids who truly like each other, and you can see it on the court, off the court. most great teams, players play for each other. And this year will be a year where kids will play for each other. We've got a core group of guys coming back that have been. These guys are actually the first guys I coached at Lake Orion. When I started coaching freshmen at Lake Orion, these are the guys I started coaching with. They're my guys coming up. And it's so much fun to watch them as seniors now, with the players they've become. But they truly like it. I mean, they truly want to play for each other. They like each other. That chemistry is going to take us a long way. At least I hope it does.
John.
Chemistry between players is great, and we have a great senior class between David, Jimmy, myself, Nate Markham, Zach Green, Jack Falter, and a bunch of other guys too that are coming out. And we played basketball together for a while, which is nice. We know each other's tendencies and where we can help each other. But the other thing is, each of us have played for Coach Risi for 3 years now. This is our third year, so now we not only. Oh, I like it, of course. But now
when you were freshman year.
We know what he expects of us and what we need to bring each night, and so we're now correcting ourselves instead of Coach stepping in, and now he's picking out finer details, and I think that's going to help us along this year.
Definitely with like what John said. And then I think last year one of our biggest problems was we didn't really have that chemistry that we needed in order to win. And I think this year we definitely have that, and I think that's going to be the difference maker. We may not have that one huge superstar like some of the other teams do, but we have a bunch of really good players who play for each other and know that if they don't do their job, they're letting their teammates down. And I know that we don't want to do that. We don't want to let our teammates down. So I feel like that's what's going to bring us over over that level.
I remember playing at Joe Dumar's back when we were in 3rd and 4th grade with John and Jimmy and Miles and Zach. And we were always good teammates, good friends on and off the court. So it's exciting to see what the chemistry brings to us this season.
I remember watching you guys play for Coach Risi when he was the freshman coach, and I'm amazed to watch you guys grow up into young men. And it's just unbelievable watching you guys grow up, and to see Coach Risi coach you guys is just wow.
You think you're amazed? I wasn't sure they're going to make it.
What's it like for you personally, Coach Risi?
No, I'm looking forward to this year. I'm not going to lie. I had a conversation with Bill Risi, our athletic director, and I had a conversation with my wife. It is how much I'm looking forward to this season, because these are kids that I kind of started with at Lake Orion, and they're just a great group of kids. The kids who live for basketball. They don't get in trouble. They're good student athletes. Good grades. A lot of the off the court stuff we talked about for last year. I don't really have that fear this year. I know that these kids are going to do their job both on and off the court, and we want to win as many games as possible. But on top of that, we also want to give our seniors the best experience they can have their senior year. That's what it's about. High school basketball, high school sports is about winning games and giving your players the best experience they can have coming out. With the kids we have this year, I really think it's going to be, if nothing else, a very fun year, very rewarding year, and a year that these kids can talk about for a long time.
John, guys, what is it like working for being with Coach Risi?
Frustrated at times, exhausting during practices, but at the end of the day, Coach Risi is an amazing coach. He knows how to push kids' buttons to get what he needs out of them and to help us get a win. He knows how to put the peer pressure on kids to make it, the whole team's dependent on you doing this, and you got to get this done, and that really, it drives you to want to get stuff done. Make sure you're doing what you're doing, but it's nice playing for Coach Risi.
Yeah, I totally agree with John. Coach Risi does a lot of things that a lot of coaches don't do. He has relationships with us that, and then we can connect with him, and they and that helps us, and like John said, he pushes us, and he knows that if we don't do something that will let the team down, and that pushes us to go harder and get farther. So
I think it's very rewarding, and we're very lucky because not only do we do, he pushes us to be the best on the court, but off the court we do a lot of things like take team trips up to Charlevoix and go out to G's after practice. And it's just a blessing to have a coach.
From my years of knowing you, Coach Risi, it's an honor getting to work with you and getting to know you. It's an honor, and I'm so proud to be blessed to get to know you.
Well, I appreciate that. The honor is all mine. We got a great community in Lake Orion. It's the people involved in Lake Orion sports. Bill Reese is a phenomenal AD. You and your brother, how involved you are and how much you support the program is unbelievable. The kids that are coming through. It's just a great community. It's a great school. I get a lot of support. I mean, from most people. There's always those parents that aren't always happy. But the bottom line is it's a great place to coach, and the support you get, and the attitude and the effort from the kids. It's I couldn't ask for a better place to be.
That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to this season. And before we go to break, I want to talk about we got new jerseys this year, new green and white jerseys.
We do. Time to get a new look.
They're a little more like Oklahoma State, I believe.
They're like Oklahoma State. They're as like Adidas, they're all trying to find the latest, greatest every year, trying to re-up the jerseys to look better than the year before. So we did buy new uniforms this year, and the kids haven't seen them yet. I've seen them. They're pretty slick. If nothing else, we're gonna look good.
I also, because I was the one that was delivering the jerseys as the custodian, I saw them myself, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's nice.
John.
Yeah, I know it's exciting to have new jerseys, of course. Every kid dreams of putting on a really nice jersey and going out and playing against some team and winning games. And I think we're going to look good this year. And while it's important in some aspects, I think playing the game's important as well.
I mean, look good, play good, right? I actually designed the jerseys. And I gave them to Bill Reese. So I think it's pretty cool to see those that we're actually getting them, and that's pretty cool for me. But I just think the jerseys we had, they were nice, but I think these will really step it up and show that we are a real team and are playable too.
Yeah, like Jimmy said, our jerseys were pretty good, but their speed lines, a little outdated. Thought we should get some new Nikes. So yeah, we'll be looking pretty sweet. Hopefully it makes us play a little better too.
One last thing before the theme this year. What is the theme this year? I heard from Nate Markham saying "We On." Is that the theme this year?
That's from Nate.
Yeah.
No comment.
Nate's got a lot of themes. Nate's a great kid. I love the kid. He's gonna have a great year this year. But it's kind of funny. Times have changed. I'm an old guy, and I've never seen so many kids worried about the attire. I mean, the jerseys. They got socks, got backpacks. I mean, it's like when I played, we didn't think twice about what we were doing. But it's a big time program, and we gotta look like a big time program. And Mr. Reese does the right things when they need to be done, and he understands that. And we're gonna look good.
Awesome. When we return on the second annual Lake Orion Boys Basketball Preview Show, we're going to discuss the schedule here on the second annual Lake Orion Boys Basketball Preview Show on ONTV. We are back with the second annual Lake Orion Boys Basketball Preview Show on ONTV. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Great.
Good.
Let's talk about the schedule this year, gentlemen. Lake Orion starts December the 10th. At home against Pontiac. Jimmy, you're wearing the Pontiac colors. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I had to dress up for school, so I figured I didn't have time to change. So,
let's just go with dress for success.
Yeah, dress for success.
Coach Risi, you had a chance to look at the schedule this year. The schedule is up as we speak. It's an interesting schedule. It's a tough schedule, but last year we talked about you always expect tough schedules.
Well, as I said last year. If you want to be the best, you got to play the best. You can't. Oh man, you can't tell everybody how you're a great team and not play against good teams. And this year we've got teams who traditionally have been very strong teams. Clarkston, Oak Park. I believe we play West Bloomfield this year.
Adams, Romeo.
Adams always plays us tough, so it's gonna be tough.
Also, very interesting ringtone. But yeah, that's a very, very interesting schedule. I look at open up with Pontiac, then you go to Oxford, which is typically very tough to play, and also a rivalry game, Robes, and then obviously that conference schedule playing also too. Then you got Romeo and Adams, two very, very good programs as well.
It's kind of a scary schedule because even the games that you think should be winnable games. This year, they've upgraded their teams. Groves, who, we don't know a lot about Groves from year to year, but they're always very well coached. Adams, John over at Adams, his team's always ready to complete, ready to play. There's really not a whole lot of gimmies on the schedule. The Pontiac team, the first game of the year, Pontiac has so much turmoil, so much turnover. You have no idea what's going to show up for Pontiac. So it's going to be a very very interesting year as it applies to the schedule. But I guess the only thing that I don't like about the schedule is I think we have 2 or 3 Friday night home games. A lot of our Friday night games are on the road this year, which is unfortunate, but it just just the way it works out.
John?
I think I speak for the whole team in saying that we don't want a soft schedule because the challenging games in December, January, and February get us ready for March. And that's what the season's all about, is seeing how far you can go in March, getting those extra games in March. And if losing 1 or 2 of them in January or February by a couple points maybe makes us better for March, I think that's a little better than playing a soft schedule and finishing up there.
Yeah, I totally agree. In order to beat the teams in January, you have to beat the Adams and the Avondales, the Oak Parks of the world. You have to beat those teams. If you can't beat them, you won't win in March. So you have to be prepared for those. And then, like what Coach Risi said about the Friday games, it kind of sucks that a lot of our Friday games are away this year. But it is what it is. So.
Yeah, I'm excited for our schedule this year. It's pretty tough, like everyone's been saying, but as John said, it'll get us ready for a deep run in the playoffs, so that's what we're planning on.
When I look at, I kind of want to talk about the divisions briefly if we can. When I look at the white this year, Lake Orion moved up a division, they're now in the white. A lot of those teams they're not gimme games. There's some pretty tough teams that are competing in our division this year.
Oak Park, who moved down our division, they wanted to come down. They lost a lot of seniors, and they came down, and all of a sudden, 4 or 5 new kids showed up on the roster. Oak Park is going to be very good. They've got 2 kids going to play Division I basketball. So Oak Park's going to give us everything we can handle. And in fact, they got one of the best players at point guard is going to be playing at Youngstown State next year. Very strong basketball player. We've got talented teams up and down our division. I've said this for the last 3 years since I've coached. These divisions don't mean a whole lot in my eyes. From top to bottom, I think the divisions we've been in have been stronger than the one above it. I mean, the one above it, Clarkson's always very strong. Southfield's always really strong. But you get past the first 2 or 3 teams, it tends to drop off. Our division's been strong, top to bottom for the most part. I'm not sure these divisions, the way they break them up, means a whole lot to me, anyways, to be honest with you anymore. I would say if you go from the first team to the last team in our division, we're probably one of the, if not the strongest division, at least in my eyes.
It doesn't matter who's in your division. Having to play a team twice, once at your place and then having to go to their place, makes it all that much tougher. Especially if you beat them the first time, they really want to get a piece of you the next time. So I don't really look at competition of divisions. I just see it as it's going to be another tough year because a division title always is tough to come by.
Yeah, to me the division's not a huge, who's in our division's not a big deal because you still have to go out and get that win. Doesn't matter who's it against. But we do have one of the, I think we have the toughest division. But it's I think that's good for us, and I think that it would show a lot if we went out and won that division.
Yeah, our division, as we've all been saying, is one of the toughest top to bottom. But that'll get us ready for March for a long playoff run. And yeah.
I want to also talk about districts. This year, hosting districts again, we've got Clarkston, Oxford, Adams, Rochester, and Stony Creek. Obviously, it's a little bit early to tell, but it seems like that, not to underestimate teams, but the 2 best teams are Lake Orion and Clarkston. At least that's what I'm seeing in my eyes. But explain the districts.
Well, I think if you ask most coaches, they can't give you a coherent idea of how in the heck the state puts these districts together. I like the fact that Clarkston's in our district because it's a rivalry game and it's fun to play. The other schools you mentioned most of them are very well coached teams. So it's we'll see come March. I think to say that us and Clarkston are 2 best teams in that district is kind of getting ahead of ourselves. I wouldn't say that just yet. Asking me in mid-February, and it might be a different story because there are some good teams in that district.
I agree, and that was like a little bit like, I mean, can't count out Adams. You can't count out, Stony Creek or.
Well, Adams. Again, Coach Hall does a great job
Right.
coaching over there. He's one of the best. They're going to be young this year. They graduated a lot of seniors last year. What he does with his young talent, say like we were last year with all these when these guys were juniors. How does he get these kids to play together? Stony Creek, Steve's a good coach over there. There are well-coached teams in our district, and any well-coached team, if they get up at the right time in the district, can win a basketball game. So I'm not ready to say that us and Clarkson are two best teams in that district. I'd like to think that's the case, but it's again asking me in February.
John.
Kind of what like Coach says. It's a little too early to tell because Romeo's going to be good this year as well, and depending on how Rochester plays as a team.
Well, Romeo's not in our district.
Romeo's not our district, okay. But no, anyone who plays as a team has a chance to win districts. It doesn't matter if they're 10-10 or 16-4. If they come to play on the night and play as a team, they have a chance of winning. So districts are always tough, and you need to come ready.
Yep, like John said, really it's whoever comes out and plays better that night. Like last year, Adams, and like in this case, they were 20-0 and they come out and they lost to Romeo. And it's really like whoever comes out and plays that night, will win. And they, but it'd be nice to have a Clarkson Lake Orion Friday night district final. That'd be pretty cool.
Like John said, you can't count out anybody in our district. Every team, if they're ready to play that night, they're going to come out and play. And we're just hoping to go out and take care of our business on our home court, and that'd be great.
Any particular game you guys looking forward to, John?
Oh, Clarkston, for sure. Always look forward to that game. Try not to get too far ahead of myself since that's mid-January. Don't want to look too far down the road, but you always see that game on the schedule, and it's a big rivalry game, and it's at Clarkston this year, which is going to make it even tougher, but that's a game you always love to and look forward to play.
I don't want to really copy John, so I'll say Oak Park because, like what Coach said, they have 2 Division I athletes, and I think that would be a huge win for us if we won that. I think that would be a great team win, team victory, and I think that would say a lot about our team if we beat them.
I'm looking forward to the 2 rivalry games this year, at Oxford and at Clarkson. Can't wait to go to the jungle, and that'll be a great experience for everybody on our team.
Coach, you looking forward? Or you're just taking it one game at a time?
I'm not going to comment. Every game is a game I'm looking forward to. It's high school basketball is a crazy sport. Anybody can win any given night, and you got to get up for all 20 games. You do enjoy going to gyms where they're crowded. When we go to Clarkston, it'll be a nice crowd. We go to Oxford, they're going to bring everybody. When you start playing in front of big crowds, it gets to be more fun. Let's say the kids, it's a better experience for the kids, and that's what high school sports is about. So to pick one game in the schedule, I can't do it. I'm looking forward to all 20 of them. How's that for politically correct response?
I agree with you. I mean, every game, I look at the schedule, every game, I just look forward to because it's going to be a unique experience. Just having to play all those teams, and it's going to be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, it should be. With the kids we got playing this year, with the athletes we've got on our team, it should be a fun. We should be a fun team to watch. We really should be.
I agree.
Yeah,
Any final thoughts on the schedule?
Can't wait. It's going to be a good year.
It's going to be fun.
We will be right back with the 2nd annual Lake Orion Boys Basketball Preview Show on ONTV. Welcome back to the 2nd annual Lake Orion Boys Basketball Preview Show on ONTV. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Great.
Wonderful. Also, we would give a personal shout out to Connor Stallions. Connor Stallions, who's doing very, very well at Navy.
That's my boy.
Keep rocking.
We want to talk about the role in the community for Lake Orion. Obviously, you do the Winter League games. The guys will referee the games, and we talked about last year with John's officiating skills being some of the best in the business.
Wow.
What's that experience like?
First of all, did you call those skills? I'll tell you, the one thing that we do with the Lake Orion varsity team, which I really like, is they do the Sunday league for the kids throughout the season, but they also come back and do the summer camps for the little kids in the June camps. So these kids have a chance to see the varsity players in the summer camps, in the winter leagues, and we could bring guys in and coaches in to coach these kids. But the bottom line is the kids in the community, they want to talk to and be part of these guys. The guys they come and watch on Friday night in the gym, the guys they see picture in the paper, those are the guys these kids want to see. And all three of these guys here do a phenomenal job with the kids. I mean, the kids love them. All these kids on our team this year are kids who really participate strongly with the kids in the community, and they do a great job. I say hi to the kids. Hey, coach, you walk by. These guys say hi, man. They're all over them. Because when you're in third grade or fourth grade, these guys are your heroes. And I'm proud of how these guys respond to the kids. They do a nice job.
Also, three very, very great men as well. Guys, pat on the back.
Thanks,
John, what's your experiences with the kids?
I always thought it was important to be part of the community and to kind of help guide the young basketball players up through the system. And I've loved the reffing probably more than anything because I get to see these kids as they come in week one, especially it's most evident with third and fourth graders when they come in week one and they're having trouble dribbling and they're taking a bunch of steps, and then by week 6, 7, and 8 when they've had some practice and they've had some coaching and then some reffing too, they're dribbling, they're running offenses, they're playing defense, staying with their man, and making all the correct basketball moves. And so it's nice to see that and be able to say I helped with that a little bit. So I like that.
Jimmy?
Yeah, I know when I was a little kid, I always looked up to the Drew Maynard and Cole Moore and all those guys. And I know that's got to be me now. I have to be the one that they can look up to. And that's why I love doing the camps and reffing. And kind of going off what John said, but with the summer camps, if seeing them come in day one, not really being able to do a whole lot, in the drills and stuff, and then on the last day of camp, they're all improved and actually they can dribble, they can play defense. It's humbling to see.
Like Jimmy said, back in the day, I remember going to Lake Orion basketball games and looking up to the players, wanting to be like them one day. And it's just crazy that now that we're seniors in high school and playing varsity basketball, that kids would actually look up to us. It's just crazy, but yeah, it's very humbling, and we're blessed to have the opportunity.
When I go walking, once in a while, I'll see some little kids riding down the bike. They're talking about the Lake Orion basketball program. They talk about you guys and how much they look up to you guys. And I was like, yep, those are three very, very good guys right there. And they're really good, classy men. And, and you guys have provided to be that positive impact on the community.
There is, in addition to all the kid work these guys do, David mentioned we go up to Charlevoix in a preseason for some team building stuff and a scrimmage. And one of the things that we do is we sponsor some kids in need for Christmas. And these kids bring their own money and buy gifts for needy kids during Christmas up in Charlevoix. And every one of these kids has done this for 3 years, never once complained, with their own money, bought gifts, and gave back to the community. So there's more to these guys than just basketball players.
Amazing, guys. Amazing. I'm so proud of you guys.
Thanks.
We want to talk about the alumni. We mentioned it a little bit earlier, the role of the alumni obviously in the community coming out. What's that role? How has it meant to you, having the alumni come out watch this team play?
Being that I've only been here 4 years, my fourth year. My assistant coach, Coach Tooley, who's been here for 15 years, and is by far the best assistant coach in OAA. I mean, he's better than 90% of the head coaches in OAA. I
agree.
He's a phenomenal coach.
I love him too.
But he knows these guys from 15 years ago, and we'll be during a game, and I'll see Dave talking to somebody, and I'll say, Coach, who's that? Oh, he played for us back in '97, and it's amazing how many of the Lake Orion guys, after they get back to college or get a job, they come back to watch us. It means a lot. I mean, they want to make sure the program they left is in good hands, and we do have a lot of returning alumni come back on a Friday night and watch us play, and it's great to see. It means a lot to us.
As Coach said, it's awesome to see the alumni come back and watch us play and root for us, and I want to be one of those guys too. I want to next year. I'll be graduating this year, and I want to be coming back either during college or even past college. Come back to a Orion game and just watch, see what's going on, and see how they're doing.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really cool when I see alumni sitting in the stands watching us. I think that's really cool that they would actually come back and take the time to actually come out and watch us and see how we're doing. And I know, like John said, that's what I want to do. I want to come back and make sure that we did leave it in good hands and see how they're doing.
Lake Orion's a really close community, as we said, and we're lucky to have all the alumni coming back, including you and Sam, doing stats or just whatever, announcing, and we're really lucky to have you guys.
That means a lot. Thank you very much, David. Last thing before I want to talk about expectations for this season. You guys, your seniors, this is kind of like that last chance to, guys won the district championship or districts and regionals back 2 years ago.
Right.
What's the expectations like for this upcoming season? John, first.
Expectations. Well, personally, I think our team is one that can go back to Callahan Hall back in the quarterfinals, and I think we have a shot of going to Breslin this year. I think our team has enough chemistry this year, and we have enough talent, enough athleticism, enough hard work, determination to get out on the court, and no matter who we're playing, have a chance of winning. Because it's going to be 5-on-5. No matter who they have, we'll have a chance to match up against them and try and win the game. So personally, I think we have a shot of going far this year.
I totally agree with John. I think we have a chance to go into Breslin. But my main goal this year is beating Clarkston, hopefully Clarkston in districts. That's one of my main goals. And really just not even winning game, just coming together as a team and really just becoming a family. That's one of the goals I want us to have.
Yeah, I just want to make this season rememberable. It's our senior year, we're trying to go out on a good note, and yeah, I think we can go far in the playoffs. I think we should, with our chemistry and knowing how well we play with each other and on and off the court chemistry. So yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting season.
Also, you guys are all together in the hallways. When I see you guys, you guys are always together. That's awesome chemistry. Coach Risi?
My expectations are always very high, but there are a lot of factors that you can't control. John's injured right now. He won't be playing until probably January sometime. One of our best juniors, Nick Fox, is playing hurt. He had injured in football practice. You can't control the injury bug, and if we can stay healthy, if we can get John back in January, and Nick can heal up, and if our top 7, 8 guys stay healthy, we can compete with just about anybody. But you can't control injuries. You can't control a lot of things that happen. Staying academically eligible. Most of our kids are very smart. A couple of them fight academic eligibility. They need to stay eligible. They need to take care of their business. If we can keep our top 7 or 8 guys healthy and eligible, we can compete with anybody out there. It just comes down to, are we going to take care of business? My expectations, as always, are to win every game and get ourselves to Breslin. Once you get to Breslin, anything can happen. But these guys were around when we won the district, won the regionals, and they have to see how really special that was. And I like these guys to experience that same thing the kids did 2 years ago. It's really a special. It's a time when you talk about the alumni, the ability to come back, look up at the board, and see their year on the wall. They'll be there for the next 50 years. That's what I'd like to give these guys. So my expectations are, getting past regionals, and then after that, it's just play your heart out, and whatever happens. There's a lot of luck comes into it after that, but I fully expect to go deep in the playoffs.
I'm looking forward to, I want to see you guys. I'm excited for you guys. I want to see you guys get it done, win the district, win the regionals, get back to the quarterfinals, go to Breslin. I want to see that happen, and I feel like you guys can do that with the chemistry, with the bond, also with the coaching. I feel like you guys can get back to Breslin. Just got to keep working. That's all it's about, the hard works. And your favorite part of the night or part of the day is practices. You've always said you love practices because you get the time.
And the bottom line is games are for players. The players work hard all week long to excel in the games. Game time is for players. Practice is for coaches. This is when we shut the doors at 7 o'clock at night, and me and Coach Tully get after it and try to do the best job we can coaching these young men. And that's, from a coach's standpoint, I really enjoy practice. Come game time, this is when these guys get to enjoy their work, their efforts. And yeah, when you have a class like this, when you got David and Jimmy and John and Nate and Miles and Jack Falter
and
Zach Green and all these guys, great kids, fun to be around. I mean, not only are they great basketball players, but they're fun kids to be around. And when you can sit in practice for 4 months and watch these knuckleheads go after each other, it's a lot of fun. And so I do enjoy practice. But come game night, it's time for these guys to shine.
I can't wait to see you guys in action this year. Getting a chance to, be around you guys, it's an honor. Any final thoughts about the season, about anything, John?
I'm just really excited. Senior year, last chance I get to play in high school. Last chance I'll be wearing a jersey for Lake Orion. So give it my all and leave everything out on the court this year.
Exactly. I hope to make it a real memorable year, and I hope I can look back on this and just think, wow, I can't believe we did that. And I hope that happens.
Yeah, I can't wait to make a bunch of memories with the squad and just hopefully leave a lasting impression on Lake Orion basketball and hopefully go on a high note.
Coach?
I'd like to first and foremost make memories for these guys that they'll stay with them forever. But on top of that, also for the community. I mean, Lake Orion is a great sports community, and I guess my request is come out and watch us play. You won't be sorry. It is a fun tour of basketball. We're going to push the ball. We're going to run hard this year. It's going to be a very fast-paced game. It'll be an enjoyable game to watch. The people out there, come watch us play. Come support us. I don't think you'll be sorry.
Awesome. Thank you guys very, very much for coming on, Coach Risi.
Thanks, Ant.
John.
Yep.
Jimmy, David.
Thanks, Ant.
Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you for watching the second annual Lake Orion Boys Basketball Preview Show on ONTV. Thank you and good night, Lake Orion.